Hi everyone, welcome back to another edition of What You Readin' Wednesday. Since it's towards the end of October and we've done some regular young adult fiction spooky reads, I thought that I would do some graphic novels this time because we have amazing graphic novels here. And so these are kind of still on the theme of spooky reads, Halloween. I'm going to start with very popular, hugely popular TV show Stranger Things. So we've got two graphic novels for Stranger Things. This one says, discover what happened to Will during the events of season 1 of the hit Netflix series Stranger Things, penned by comics all-star Jody Houser. The Upside Down, a place only seen before in psychic visions and nightmares. So Stranger Things, it's called The Other Side graphic novel, and this one is called Stranger Things Into the Fire. And it says, Stranger Things Into the Fire has what is perhaps one of the best openings of any of the Stranger Things graphic novels to date. It's interesting and dramatic, and more than a little bit disturbing and somber. In short, it's perfect, and it did its job well. Readers will be immediately pulled into the plot. And that is Stranger Things Into the Fire graphic novel. This is also another series right now that's been around in the comic book world for quite a while, but is now a TV series. I think it's on either Hulu or Netflix. You'll have to look that up, but it is Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. And it says, my peers are monsters. Sabrina the Teenage Witch collects issues number 1 through 5 of the ongoing series and features bonus content, including the first full issue of Archie and Sabrina. So those that are fans of Riverdale as well, you'll know that Sabrina comes from the same comic book world as Archie Andrews and all the Archie comics, which I grew up on. I love Archie comics. I have not watched the TV series yet, but really fun graphic novels. And you know, the graphic novels, it's just amazing with all the colored artwork inside and the stories. So that is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This one is Witch and Wizard by James Patterson, and I believe this is a series. There's a few of these. This is the first one. It says, imagine waking up to find that the world around you, life as you know it, has changed in an instant. Kind of sounds familiar right now, right? We can relate. That's what happens to Whit Allgood and his sister, Witsy. They thought that they were just a couple of normal teenagers until their rude awakening at the hands of a dozen armed police. Charged with being a wizard and a witch, accused of having incredible powers that they never dreamed possible, the siblings find themselves the targets of an upstart political regime, the New Order, which has swept the country and vowed to wipe their kind from existence. Now Wit and Witsy must fight for both their freedom and their lives as they unlock the powers burning inside of them. Witch and Wizard, James Patterson, number 1. The Walking Dead, also a very familiar TV show. So we have, I believe, 2 of these in. So it says, the world we know is gone. The world of commerce and frivolous necessity has been replaced by a world of survival and responsibility. An epidemic of apocalyptic proportions has swept the globe, causing the dead to rise and feed on the living. In a matter of months, society has crumbled. No government, no grocery stores, no mail delivery, no cable TV. In a world ruled by the dead, we are forced to finally start living. The Walking Dead. This one is called Speak, the graphic novel. Love the kind of spooky tree on it. The critically acclaimed, award-winning modern classic Speak is now a stunning graphic novel. Speak up for yourself. We want to know what you have to say. From the first moment of her freshman year at Merriweather High, Melinda knows this is a big fat lie. Part of the nonsense of high school. She is friendless and outcast because of something that happened over the summer. Now nobody will talk to her, let alone listen. So what's the point of talking? Through her work on an art project, Melinda is finally able to face what really happened that night. But before she can make peace with the ghosts of the past, she has to confront the reality of the present and stop someone who still wishes to do her harm. Only words can save her. She can't stay silent, not anymore. Speak, the graphic novel. And the illustrations inside is kind of like a film noir kind of feel to it, which I think is really cool. All right, again, some very, very popular and familiar Five Nights at Freddy's, which is a super popular video game, actually. We have many Five Nights at Freddy's novels. This is a graphic novel. The first ever Five Nights at Freddy's graphic novel, an adaptation of the #1 New York Times bestseller, The Silver Eyes. 10 years after the horrific murders at Freddy Fazbear's tongue twister, Pizza that ripped their town apart, Charlie, whose father owned the restaurant, and her childhood friends reunite on the anniversary of the tragedy and find themselves at the old pizza place, which has been locked up and abandoned for years. After they discover a way inside, they realize that things are not as they used to be. The 4 adult-sized animatronic mascots that once entertained patrons have changed. They now have a dark secret and a murderous agenda. Five Nights at Freddy's, Silver Eyes. Dracula, Bram Stoker. Also something that's very familiar, a classic. And it says, experience the classic tales in manga format. An ancient evil lurks in the dark heart of Transylvania, but it won't lurk there forever. Now Count Dracula's immortal eyes look towards London, a new land full of opportunity and unsuspecting victims. A ragged band of survivors must stop him before it's too late. But how? Bram Stoker's Dracula. All right, this one is called Batman, Haunted Night. And it says Halloween, harmless enough, yet under the giggly thrill of pretend scares, it seems to also have this sinister potential to somehow turn real, to somehow push us onto a roller coaster ride of fears and emotions we aren't prepared to face, but suddenly have to. This is an experience loaded with possibilities when you apply it to an already dark and complex character like Batman. 3 of the best such applications are collected in this volume. So Batman, Haunted Night, and it's appropriately orange and black for Halloween, and then all kinds of colors inside. Okay, and then this is Volume 1 and Volume 2 series, and these have been really, really popular too. They're Neil Gaiman's The Graveyard Book, Volume 1 and Volume 2. It says, The Graveyard Book, by turns exciting and witty, sinister and tender, shows Gaiman at the top of his form. In this novel of wonder, Neil Gaiman follows in the footsteps of long-ago storytellers, weaving a tale of unforgettable enchantment. And the Volume 2 says, a virtuoso adaptation, a master of fantastical landscapes. Russell sharpens the realism of his imagery, preserving the humanity of the characters and heightening the horror, even as Gaiman's concise storytelling ratchets up the eeriness. So, a lot of great things to read this time of the year when it's cold and kind of spooky out there with Halloween coming. So just want to remind you that we have a wonderful selection of graphic novels here, because sometimes, you know, if you get used to going to a certain section in the library, you kind of forget what's in the other parts. So definitely wanted to let you know we have some great ones here and ready to get them put on hold for you, so you can come into the library to check them out or pick them up curbside with us. And we hope to see you soon at Erickson Library. Take care and happy Halloween, everyone.